The word pregnant should have sounded like music, that it should have meant joy, celebration, hope. Instead, it felt like a verdict that I was sitting at the dining table when my mother-in-law looked at me across the candlelight and smiled. Not the warm kind. The kind that cuts. Pregnant again? She said, her voice sharp and cold. How utterly disappointing. The room fell silent. My husband, Daniel Reed, shifted beside me but didn't speak. He never did when it came to his mother. Veronica Reed smoothed her silk blouse like she'd just commented on the weather. Another daughter, I assume, she continued. When exactly are you going to give my son the heir he deserves? Heir, not child. Not grandchild. Ere that I felt the blood drain from my face. This was supposed to be a celebration dinner. Instead, it had become another public trial. Mom, please, Daniel muttered. She waved him off. If you don't control your wife, she'll keep producing these placeholders. Placeholders, that's what she called my 8-year-old daughter, Clara. Tears burned behind my eyes, but I forced my voice steady. Clara is not a placeholder. And this pregnancy is still early. We don't even know the baby's sex. Veronica rolled her eyes. With your record? It's clearly another girl. Something inside me cracked that I excused myself before I broke apart in front of her. Outside on the patio, the night air felt like mercy. I tried to breathe. Daniel followed me. I'm sorry, he said softly. You know how she is. I turned to him slowly. For 8 years, I said. I've listened to her insult me. Insult Clara. And you just stand there. He looked away. She won't change. That was the moment I understood something devastating that he wouldn't either. Weeks later, Veronica called me into the kitchen with a smile that made my skin crawl. I've taken steps to solve our heir problem, she said lightly. My stomach tightened. What does that mean? I introduced Daniel to a lovely young woman. Her name is Ava. She's healthy, fertile, devoted. The words didn't make sense at first. You brought another woman into my marriage? Oh, don't be dramatic. You've proven incapable of giving my son what he needs. I stared at her. Then Daniel walked in. Behind him stood a woman in tight clothes and careful makeup. Ava. Daniel wouldn't meet my eyes. It's for the family, he said. For our legacy. Our legacy, not our vows. Not our daughter. Legacy. In that moment. Something inside me didn't just crack. It burned. You allowed this? I whispered. Silence. Veronica smiled. That smile did it. I grabbed the nearest thing I could find. A heavy ceramic vase, and threw it. It shattered against the wall beside her. For once, she looked afraid. Daniel stared at me like I was the monster. But I wasn't the one who had betrayed our marriage. The next morning, I called a lawyer. Her name was Margaret Sloan, and she did not believe in mercy. Within days, I discovered something interesting. Daniel's company had been quietly funneling money. Offshore, illegal money, hidden money. The kind that destroys reputations. I didn't threaten him. I didn't scream. I handed the documents to his lawyer with one simple message. You want to play power games? Let's play. The divorce was brutal. Veronica tried to paint me unstable. Margaret buried them in paperwork and evidence. In the end, Daniel signed. I kept full custody of Clara. I walked away with enough to rebuild. Veronica walked away with something new for the first time in her life. Defeat. Years passed. Clara grew into a confident, brilliant young woman. We built a peaceful life far away from the House of Reed. Daniel tried to reach out once. I didn't answer. Then one day, a letter arrived from a federal prison. Daniel Reed had been convicted of racketeering, embezzlement, and tax evasion. 10 years. Veronica's empire collapsed overnight. The heir she obsessed over, the legacy she worshipped, gone. Clara read the letter quietly. Then she looked at me. This doesn't change anything, she said. We're okay. We've always been okay. And she was right. Veronica believed bloodlines were everything. But she forgot something. Character is the real inheritance. And she never had it. I used to think strength meant endurance. Now I know better. Strength is knowing when to walk away. Strength is protecting your children from people who mistake control for love. And sometimes, strength is letting a toxic house burn to ashes. The House of Reed fell. But my daughter and I, we rose. If this story moved you, subscribe for more emotional family dramas, and powerful comeback stories. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done in my place?